ASMR Coffin Radio.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Coffin Radio. I am Heartthrob Rob, and today we are saying rest in peace to Terry Funk. Rest in peace to one of the greatest, if not the greatest wrestler of all time, Terry Funk. A man who gave over 50 years of his life to professional wrestling, a business that I love so much, a sport that I couldn't fucking live without, to be honest with you. And Terry Funk gave us 50 years of that. And it's sad to see one of the greatest wrestlers of all time go. Someone whose career spanned a very, very long time. A man who's had incredible moments throughout his career. And it's crazy because, I didn't see all of Terry's 80s stuff until I went back and watched wrestling years and years and years later. I'm still a kid in the 80s, being born and stuff like that. So my introduction to him was actually the Chainsaw Charlie character. And I think a lot of guys from the Attitude Era, I'm 36 now, a lot of guys that grew up in that era kind of had that same introduction. I don't think a lot of us, because Terry wasn't a mainstream star until just right before that national expansion and with national television. Do you know what I mean? Right before Flair, right that Dusty era. You know what I mean? So right before Hogan and all that, that's when his era was for champs. So to see him come back as that Chainsaw Charlie character, WrestleMania 14, big deal to me, with him and him and Mick Foley, Cactus Jack versus the New Age Outlaws. Incredible stuff. And then from there, you got to think, this is like right before that, which I didn't see till a little later, right? Is the stuff he did in ECW to completely give ECW a rub, to elevate them, to have someone like Terry Funk on their show. Definitely brought them from a regional indie show to a big mainstream feel. To have him win that championship on the first ECW pay-per-view. Really cool stuff. And just, you go back and, someone like me who will go back and look at all of Terry Funk's promos, the forever, or just recently I just watched his Bret match when he has that match against Bret Hart in '97, and just some great stuff that he's done. Obviously I can't go without talking about the Flair matches when he had that's some incredible stuff. The deathmatch stuff with Mick Foley, just incredible stuff. Someone who can just revolutionize his own career and just redo it, come up with something to refresh it. Middle-aged and crazy, like as someone who's, almost to their 40s, like I get that now. That's so funny, and he's 45-ish when he's doing it. So I couldn't imagine another 10 years that craziness that would take over. The man was doing, moonsaults or backflips like that. Just super crazy stuff. So I just had to say rest in peace to Terry Funk. I cover a lot of wrestling. I've had a lot of wrestlers on my show. I've met a lot of wrestlers, hung out, kicked it, chilled with a lot of wrestlers. A lot of big time guys. Terry Funk, when I met him, I cried. I teared up and he's not even my favorite wrestler like that. I love Terry Funk, but he's not my favorite wrestler. He's not Bret, right, to me, right? You know what I mean? But when I met him, dude, tears. To see this man, just to walk up and get around, to see him hurting like that, and this is an older gentleman, just knowing that all the bumps and bruises, miles that he's put on his body, just really hurt me. And it was sad to see, it was very sad to see, but it was also one of the greatest moments of my life, because I know, when I saw Terry Funk, I know what it means to see Terry Funk now, right? When I saw him, I was already grown now. It's only maybe 3 years ago. And so when I saw him, I knew how much of a big deal it was. And so I paid for a picture, and as I go to get the picture, in his voice, he says, the least you can do is let me put you in a headlock. And so Terry Funk fucking puts me in a headlock in the picture, and I'll put it up. He's got me in a headlock, and it's incredible. I got a big old smile on my face. Unfortunately, this is right before his wife had passed, and so this was Terry Funk's final signing, and I was like the last person that day. I literally was, like, this was after, and I was the last person. So as far as I know, I was the last person that day at his last signing. I know I was. And as far as I know, I was the last person that Terry Funk put a headlock on then. And until I see photographic proof proving otherwise, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But let me know what you guys think, man. What do you guys think about the greatest wrestler of all time, Terry Funk? A man who's done his thing in Amarillo, Texas, NWA, WCW, ECW, WWE, WWF. You know, he fought Hogan in fucking 84 or something like that, 88, 87 or something like that, something crazy. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think about Terry Funk. We'll talk about it in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and if you like what you're watching, then hop in the coffin. Follow us on social media at Coffin Radio, Coffin spelled with a K, and that's all for today.
KSMR Coffin Radio.